Hey guys, welcome back to the AddMeGamers channel. Today I'm going to be doing a quick tutorial in terms of ledgers and commerce and retail. The first thing to know as you start to expand, of course, each different type of class, that being unskilled, skilled, or executives or elites, they do require ledgers. Now the trick is to know exactly which one to place and how to place the damn ledger, not even how, but like which one to place. You have two different types of ledgers. If you go to the commerce tab on the left side, you have then the ledgers as little bubbles or balloons. You have sports ledger and cultural ledger. Keep in mind that, of course, the higher the class you go, it means skilled, unskilled will probably want more sports ledgers and less culture. And same with your skilled, they'll probably want more sports, less culture. But when you go to the executives, it's sort of their demand for culture starts to increase, and elites, of course, it sort of balances out between sports and leisure. Now, the question what you're asking is, which one do you place? It's very, very easy to know which leisure to place. When you start off the game, you start off with, let's say, one block. And now what you do is you pick the first leisure, that being the basketball court, and then you move it to the side of the road. Now here's a very bad example, but for example, if I would stick it here, you see that the road gets yellower. So the same principle works, of course, with your residential. When you stick it to the side of the road will turn obviously dark greener. The dark greener it is, the more satisfied they are with those leisures. As you can see, I'm moving it to the side of the road, and it is dark greener. Let's see if they actually, I did build all the leisures required. Here you have leisure satisfaction low on this side. So when you start off in the beginning, you start off with a sports leisure. You build the first one, basketball court. When they require leisures, again, to know which leisure they want, if it's sports or culture, it's very easy. You go in you select from the beginning. Don't jump to different ledgers. No, always start from the beginning in both, either culture or sports. So for example, I stuck the basketball court here. The second time they need ledgers, I'm going to stick the next one, which is bowling alley. Sticking 20 or 10 of the same ledgers will not help. They need a variety. It's the same thing. Imagine you're living in a city and all they have is basketball, but all you like is baseball. Obviously you're going to get pissed off. You don't like the same damn thing. Well, it's the same principle here. You can't place a lot of the same thing. It doesn't affect at all. It's just a waste of your money. Place one of each maximum. Okay, so the first thing when they need leisure, you'll place the basketball court. The second thing, you'll place a bowling. The third time you'll place the go-karting. But when you move to the side, the thing is I have so much of it here, you'll see that the color doesn't change. You see, the color of the road doesn't change when I place it. It means I know that this is the wrong leisure. So you're going to keep going up, placing different ones. You know, you might see the color differentiation here is very slight now. It goes just a little bit dark green. You can even see the difference here better. You see it's just a little bit dark green. Of course, in the beginning of the game, the color change will be substantially greater. You can see really a big color change from yellow to green. You know, this is like literally a late end game, what you're seeing here as an example. That's why you don't see such a vast color change. But keep in mind, when you do put, for example, one or two sports leisures, that the next time they whine about leisures, they might want a culture. So, you know, you should sort of have a feel for it. So, for example, the first few times you put down a sports, and the next time they want a leisure, you know, say, look, you got to think about it. You know, you got to think logically. Okay, I already put two sports, they might want a culture. You know, remember, mix it up. They don't like the same shit. You gotta give them different stuff. So I'd put down two sports, and then again they want ledgers. I'd be like, screw it, I'd put down a culture one. You know, same principle applies for culture. You select your culture, you start off from the first one, you put it down. If the color of the road changes, if it goes to dark greener, or yeah, if it shades more to dark green instead of yellow, it means it's improving, and that's what they want. If the color doesn't change, it means that's not what they want. Don't build the leisure. You have to test it out by selecting different types. So for example, you see here's a very slight color change. Take a look at the road now, and take a look at the road now. It's a really slight color change. Okay, but this is really a late end game. So as I said in yours, you will not have this issue. And for the late end game like this, I might actually stop buying leisures, because leisures are costing me quite a bit, and I might start building the blueprints instead. Blueprints also give you leisures. You can find them in the pack. You have the Americas, the European, and the Asian style, and the third one of each is blueprints, and here you can select the blueprints and they give you leisures as well. Here you have 5% leisure satisfaction plus 10% education. So you can build, of course, blueprints for the late game, as I am in this stage, to sort of start building these blueprints, because literally it's going to cost me, in a way, if not the same or not more, to build more ledgers to satisfy them, while the blueprint, if I place one in the center, it'll literally cover quite a big area of the map itself. So this is in terms of ledgers. To summarize it, as you build up, you'll start off with one culture, then you're going to start off with maybe one sports and one culture, and then they're going to want one more sports, and then they're going to want one more culture. Remember, when you're expanding in your ledgers, always mix it up, always go in order. That's what I do, and you'll never go wrong. If you built the first time the basketball, you go next, and then you go next, and then you go next, and then you go next. And if you see the next one doesn't really change the color very much, try putting the culture ledger instead of the sports, vice versa as well. So this is how to build your ledgers and how to satisfy your ledgers for the actual all types of classes. Now let's go to the commercial side of things. Commercial and retail is a little bit tricky, and not in the beginning but later in the late game. As you see, you have the commerce tab, same thing with the ledgers, but I'm going to have the first one, the retail. Now in the beginning, of course, they want shops, they want to buy shops, they really want to spend shops. So what you're going to do is you're going to place down shops. It's pretty easy. You're going to place down shops. As you can see, I have one shop here, which is still medium. I'm going to switch it to high density now, but as you see here, I have heavy density, high density shops. Now the surrounding, and it's a very good example, is when you click the shops, you'll see again the color surrounding. The color surrounding is yellow, so you see their shops are low. In the beginning and to mid game, it really doesn't matter. It's very easy in terms of satisfying your shops, because remember, your shops always open the resource tab. It's linked to retail. The more shops you have, the more you see city internal production 3.6. The more internal production you're producing of retail. So for example, if I have too many shops, I'll be overproducing my retail, and that will affect your economy. So don't overproduce of anything. That'll be in my other tutorials. You can always check the playlist link down in the description. I'll put a link to the playlist for all the tutorials that I'll be making, or that will be coming up soon, so it will be there sooner or later. Now the more shops you build, the more retail you're going to produce. The bad thing about it is, in the beginning to sort of middle game as well, you're not going to really have an issue with this, because all you do, it's really easy. You just grab the damn thing, you plop it down, and you'll see the road will change from yellowish to green as well. You got always give it a little bit of time, yeah. Put it to speed 5 and wait a little bit. Wait for him to man up. Wait for it to get all the required workers, and then give it like a click or two so it actually gets into production, and the road should change. That's for the beginning game. It's very easy. When they need shops, you just throw down a shop. Now for the later game, what you'll realize, or sort of already in the end middle game towards the later game, you can say mid-middle game. I don't really know, because you have sort of the beginning middle, mid-middle, and end middle. So in the mid-middle game, towards mid-middle game and onwards, you're going to realize that the problem that some of you might have is that you're producing all the shops, but you're having retail, massive overproduction of retail. Internal production, let's say it's 8, but consumption is 4, and they still need shops. Why is that? Because when you start moving towards the mid-middle game and onwards, it's not only about building shops. They do need shopping malls. You can't keep plopping down commerce. You're just going to overproduce your retail, which will make the prices go down, and your economy will also lose money in terms of that. Don't overproduce retail. Don't overproduce anything. If you have an overproduction of something, you are going to lose money. Try to export immediately anything you're overproducing. You know, retail, unfortunately, you can't export, but you can reduce production. So once I start building retails, and then you'll realize that when you build more retails, it'll keep saying shop satisfaction low, shop satisfaction low, shop satisfaction low. But when you click on your shop, it'll be very dark green. It means they're fully satisfied with the shops. See, at that time, you'll realize you have to stop building these retail shops. You're going to have to go to your exceptional buildings on the left, and you're going to have your shopping malls. As you can see, I built my shopping mall so strategically smart. I stuck it here, and I stuck again at the Ford dealership. You get that unlocked as well, but I already used it, so it's not here. And you get Carrefour shopping centers, so on and so forth. So remember to build your shopping malls once you reach that stage, and always check your resource panel. And once your shopping malls come online again, give it a few clicks to continue. You'll notice that they will no longer require shops. And once that happens, go to your resources and see if you're still overproducing those resources. Start demolishing those commerce that you built. It means, for example, this is what happened to me. If you're going to watch my gameplay tutorials, I had, I think, 6, 7 at that time. I don't know which number it's going to be at, but I had 6, 7. Once I built the shopping malls down, they were satisfied, but they were still very dark, and my resource panel, I still had substantially overproduction. It was red. So I just destroyed 2, 3, you know. I destroyed 2, 3, and they're sort of satisfied. You know, this is a very tricky sort of little thing to do here, is that the actual shops don't only rely on your retail, but also rely on your shopping malls. So, and of course, mainly I would recommend you put the largest shopping mall as Carrefour and so on for your elites. But the elites is a completely different tutorial as well. I would suggest you watch the elites tutorial and to see how to deal with that as well. Now, for the commerce and retail, this is practically it. From the beginning to sort of the beginning middle game, all you're going to do is just plopping down commerce. Either that's medium or high density. Then you'll realize it'll be pretty obvious when you reach that population breaking point, because it really works on population count. Once you hit some population, I can't remember exactly when, you'll notice that no matter how many shops you place down, it doesn't really affect anything, because they still need more shops. That's because you got to put down shopping malls and shopping centers instead of these heavy industry commerce. Then what you should do is, of course, check your production, start destroying them, make sure that it's still sort of darkish light or they're not requiring shops, and get the production of retail down so your economy balances out like here. You know, I could build one shop, as you see, they do require, and that's really about it for the commerce and leisures tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Do give it a thumbs up. Leave any comments down below. I pretty much covered everything in terms of these two specific sections. And I will cover more, as mentioned before. You can always check the link in the description. Happy gaming. See ya.